6 months of Trump's COVID denials. It'll go away. It's fading. 6 months of coronavirus in the U.S. 6 months of Trump denials. As the U.S. passed another somber landmark with more than 150,000 confirmed deaths from COVID-19, the grim toll stands in stark contrast to Donald Trump's repeated promise that under his leadership the disease would simply disappear. Here are some of his starkest comments on the topic. 20th January, we have it under control. On 20th January, the U.S. recorded its first case of coronavirus. 2 days later, Trump told CNBC, it's one person coming in from China. We have it under control. It's going to be just fine. 26th February, it's going to disappear. In late February, by which time the U.S. had recorded 60 cases of infection, Trump told a White House briefing, when you have 15 people, within a couple of days, it's going to be down to close to zero. That's a pretty good job we have done. The following day, he returned to the theme, saying, it's going to disappear. One day, it's like a miracle. It will disappear. 10th of March, it will go away. By 10 March, the coronavirus in the U.S. was climbing steeply, with 37 official deaths and more than 1,000 confirmed cases. On that day, Trump emerged from a meeting with Republican senators to tell the media how well the U.S. was doing. We are doing a great job with it, and it will go away. Just stay calm. It will go away. 29 April, it's going to be gone. Trump returned to the argument that the virus would just disappear at the end of April. The U.S. had just notched up its million positive tests for coronavirus and reached 58,000 recorded deaths. This was just in April. 58,000 deaths, that's April, right? So April, May, June, July. Today is July the 30th. 3 months later, we over 150,000, right? So that's April 29. This is going away. It's gonna go. It's gonna leave. It's gonna be gone. It's going to be eradicated. If you have a flare-up in a certain area, I call them burning embers. Boom, you put it out. 11th of May, we have prevailed. In a grandiose coronavirus briefing from the Rose Garden, Trump announces administration was winning the fight against the virus. We have made the moment, and we have prevailed. Americans do whatever it takes to find solutions, pioneer breakthroughs, and harness the energies we need to achieve a total victory. That day, the death toll in the U.S. hit 80,000. That was May. Right? 17th of June is fading away. Trump carried on predicting that the disease would disappear of its own accord through June, which was just last month, a time when the virus was in fact spreading fast through huge swaths of the country. In a radio call to Fox News, he said, it's fading away, it's going to fade away, but having a vaccine would be really nice. 19th of July, which is this month. It'd be right eventually. Earlier this month, Fox News Sunday played back to Trump his many claims that the virus would disappear. And Fox is the network that praises Trump, and yet they played it back. You would think it's CNN. CNN has CNN is notorious for doing that to Trump, for playing back things he said, except for like Fox. So this was Fox Sunday. This was with what's his name there? I guess he's different from the rest of Fox, the anchor on Fox News Sunday. So they played it back. The president shot back. It be right eventually. It's gonna disappear, and I'll be right. The show's host Chris Wallace asked Trump whether dogged insistence that the virus would vanish even while it's proliferated would discredit him. I don't think so. You know why? He replied, because I've been right probably more than anybody else. So let's see now. The only thing that's probably should be best to disappear is Donald Trump after the November election this year. And I think Americans would be crazy to vote for this man to keep him in office. Really. Because by voting for him, you might as well say, put my grandmother, put my grandfather, or put my father in an early grave. That's what you're actually doing. I just saw in the news this morning a man, I think he's like 51 years old, never had any underlying health issues, and he was warning people out of California. He came down with COVID. He was in the hospital over like 30 something days. He lost some fingers because the oxygen level had dropped. So that means oxygen wasn't getting to the tissues. So once that happens, the cells begin to, like the extremities to the fingers, they begin to die out. So you're going to get gangrene. So they had to cut some of his fingers off and so forth. His kidneys had shut down. Uh, he's totally different, and for some reason he managed to survive it. Now that's not a nice picture. He survived it, and all these months Donald Trump said it's going to go away, it's going to disappear. Yeah, and in the end here he's still saying, because I've been right, probably more than anybody else. This man is clearly a joker, and he's not really serious, and nobody should take him seriously. And any Americans who plan to vote um, for this clown needs to get his head examined. Yeah, needs to get his head examined. That's what it comes down to. A modern day Jezebel. That's what Donald Trump is.